Oh boy, we're back. Can you believe how fast the day is flying by from coast to coast? We give you the most. Across the fruited plains, as my friend Rush Limbaugh used to say, all across America, people are dialing in and listening more and more to the show that puts you in the know. It gets you in the flow.
And you can go over to the Lance Wallnau podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we do this
Sorry,
every day
I got
during the
lost
week.
in my prose. Go to Lance Wallnau show. You want to catch that podcast? 750,000 downloads, they tell me. But then I hear Mercedes say 500,000, and I don't know what to trust.
No, when did I say 750,000 downloads last month? We're adding almost 100,000 downloads per month. And so you can go lancewallnau.com/podcast. We'll take you any podcast platform you want to listen to. You can hear us.
I mean, if you
7 days a
include
week.
all platforms combined, we maybe reach 1 million people.
Oh, well, I'm saying that's just podcast downloads. It doesn't include all your social media, like on Facebook and Instagram.
See, I don't keep
and
up with
Getter
that stuff.
and
This is the
Gab
stuff that the staff does.
TikTok.
But I'd like to point something out. It's a personal point, but you might want to share this publicly with, well, actually, since you guys are friends of mine, and
It's just us.
Just us. You know what really bothers me? What bothers me is friends of mine that are at Mar-a-Lago with Donald Trump sending me pictures and saying, "Are you here?" And I'm never invited. Now, I just am saying, if you know Brooke Rollins or Paula White, they're friends of mine. But I don't want to call them up and say, "Hey, can I go?" But maybe if someone could contact them for me and say, "Hey, you got Gene Bailey there, Sean Foyt. What about Lance Wallnau? Why isn't he there?" Just bring it up in a conversation.
Yeah, because nobody wants
Brooke
to be
Rollins.
Nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to be like, "Hey, could I come?"
Yeah, nobody. I don't.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a little bit weird. So
Yeah.
I don't even like talking about it. Except we're friends, you guys in the audience and me, and I hear there's 1 million of you. Maybe if you could contact Brooke and say,
There's got to be a
"Lance
list.
Wallnau, isn't Lance there?" Paula White. Hey, Paula, you're all. You and Lance are friends. Why don't you?
But this is how these things work, okay? It's not like you actually put an event list together. I put an event list together and then invite all your people. So it's like somebody that works for those guys that you're not in the peripheral.
I've got to talk to the person that puts the list. Kind of like
That's what we
Paula.
need.
You know what Paula had? That's why I met Trump in the first place. Paula White's producer. Evidently, producers aren't putting together these lists anymore. He invited me originally, and then I'm off the list. Hey, look, Mercedes got me my Donald Trump flag. Let's hear what the boss says.
I don't frankly have time for total political correctness, and this country doesn't have time either.
That's why you guys got it. I'm just coming through the front door. Why haven't I been invited to Mar-a-Lago yet?
But you have been.
You mentioned all the candidates have been there. Well, I have been. All right, I have been.
It's
Yes,
just whatever
I have.
list this was.
Yeah, I guess
weren't
it's just
on.
recently I wasn't invited.
Well, I think you probably, how do you know it did get lost in the mail? Remember the time you first met Trump and your old assistant lost the invitation and she said, "You're going to kill me"?
That's a fact. Trump wanted to meet me. That's right. And she actually didn't listen to the voicemail.
Wild.
That was in the beginning of his
But
campaign.
it worked out. You ended up getting there.
Anyway, Trump does have one notable endorsement in trouble. Governor, I'm going back to this. David Perdue is running against Governor Brian Kemp, not to be confused with Jack Kemp, leading up to the May 24th, people. Come on, Georgia and Arizona have had an undue effect in the United States. That's where the mules were. That's where the left is doubling down on. Nothing to see here. But this other big endorsement in Georgia, former football standout Herschel Walker is leading, as are many other of his picks. So Herschel Walker's doing good. But GOP candidates for months have lined up at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort and winter residence for an endorsement audience. And when they get one, woo-hoo, they cheer loudly. That's why I wanted to tell you, Governor Perdue's in trouble. David Perdue is running for governor. He's running against Kemp. Perdue is endorsed by the Donald. And he's the one who just came out with the governor. Are you going to stand for pro-life once that ban is in effect, or are you going to waffle? He's putting him in the crosshairs.
I'm going to go on waffle.
You think he's going to go to Waffle House?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Remember when they were going to pull out all those different movie companies back when they enacted, what was that? Voting? It was voting laws and all those.
Oh, they're
different
always threatening.
Yeah.
It's like, we're going to
The
take
liberals,
our
yeah.
sports franchise out. We're going to take our business out. But you know what? The American people are pushing back. I will warn you right now, Mr. Disney. Don't play any Mickey Mouse games with this MAGA movement. We're the most dangerous movement in history, according to Bumblebrain Biden. And we've just begun to bite or fight. U.S. Ups and downs. Ohio GOP turnout up 28%. Democrats turnout down 27%. What does it tell you? What does it tell you, Mercedes, when they had the primaries, and of course we said J.D. Vance won. And by the way, the one reason he did win is because Donald Trump Jr. went and threw the other guy, begins with an M, is a great guy too. He's on a lot of war room, and he's a former vet, and he's talking about he's taking on Trump. He's going to take on the swamp. But then Donald Trump said he's meeting with McConnell in private.
Okay.
Anyways, the guy that J.D. Vance beat.
Oh.
Begins with an M. I forget his name. You guys in the chat thread will correct me
we
very
got to
quickly.
get better with names. We got to get somebody that just does names for you.
Yeah, okay. But the point is, the GOP turnout was 28, almost 30% higher than normal.
Wow.
Why? The base is energized. Oh boy, we're like a coiled spring, and the spring is getting bigger every day. We're having meetings, by the way, if you want to know about these. Some 10 to 12,000 people at a time in arenas around the United States. We just finished 2 nights in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Powerful populist gatherings. If you're interested in the populist rallies that are the most powerful, scintillating, provocative, with great awakening overtones that are supernaturally, spiritually charged, you want to find out what we're doing. So just contact us at asklancenow.com.
Sure. We could do that, or just go to lancewallnau.com and sign up there.
Yeah, sign up there, and you'll be notified when we do our next city. We're looking at Atlanta, of all things. We're looking at Atlanta for the next big rally.
Wow.
Ho, ho, ho! Anyway, if the GOP is up 28%, the Democrats are down 27%, it tells you that the Democrats are not necessarily inspired by the Biden coattails. So, but the base for the Patriots way up. This is a crazy story. Donald Trump wanted to fire missiles. Oh, I just wish he was president. He wanted to fire missiles and destroy drug cartel labs in Mexico, and then deny that we did it, and say, how do I know? For all I know, it could have been a lab explosion. It was illegal drugs, right? Just don't inhale the explosion air. But it's always the idiotic swamp Pentagon creature like Mark Esper, who is coming out with his book, Sacred Oath. Sacred Oath. He's part of the Fauci crowd up there. And it's going to be released where he's exposing objections that he brought to Mr. Trump. And Trump said, we could just shoot some Patriot missiles and take out the labs, adding that no one would even know it was us. Well, I'll tell you what, Mark Esper, he thought it was a joke. And that was just stared Trump right back down there. Well, look, Esper, you're done. Nobody's interested in you. Chemical shipments are mislabeled at their origin, shipped to legitimate companies, then diverted to the TCO and smuggled to the clandestine laboratories. The Department of Energy, the DEA, the DEA knows that those drugs. Listen, you guys know this, that there has to be levels of our government in the intelligence services working with the cartels to have the volume of drug business coming through the United States. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see that they got some clandestine links down there working quietly together on the borders to allow this stuff to happen. Because when you're dealing with the devil, it's just the devil. And so it's worth looking into this. Criminal organizations are the greatest drug trafficking threat to the U.S., which notes that they control most of the U.S. drug market and have established varied transportation routes, have advanced communication capabilities, and hold strong affiliations with criminal groups and gangs in the United States. You get that? It's an organized matrix, like a huge business. And it goes all the way to China, because China fentanyl is one of the number one killers of Americans right now, and is coming over in record quantities. And so Trump's absolutely right. Go to war. Use your military surveillance to identify where the labs are. The Mexican government will never do it. But an American president like Trump, kaboom.
Well, yeah, I thought too the Mexican president was like, hey, let's not do that.
Of course not, because he'd be dead in the water. The cartels control a large part of the country. Mm-hmm. They basically say, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. It's like Hitler said to the church, Look, you do your thing. I do mine. Let's not fight, or you don't want to mess with me. So I'm just telling you, people, with 1 minute and 43 seconds left, we're gonna need to have that kind of. And so what? They think, and these dummies, they think that I want to know why it is that you can kill babies, but you can't blow up meth labs. Democratic Party has their priorities wrong.
Agree.
All right. Anyway, Putin is, well, you can go with any story you want. I've got a couple of them that are very good. We got 1 minute and 17 seconds. And I
know it's hard to do anything in a minute. I do want to talk about the Arizona parents that are suing the school district for compiling a creepy dossier all about them. I mean, down to like taking photos of them with their kids. This is so infuriating, people. It's so creepy. Well, I don't want to. We only have a minute. It's the outrage of the week. Well, we're going to tease it out. We're going to do what Rush would do. Rush would start with it. He's going to take a brief station identification. When we come back, we're going to talk about this. I want you guys to know something. The Arizona Democrats have done a deep personal information gathering operation on is this families? Yeah. On the citizens who they see as their enemies. Remember this narrative that the greatest danger is the MAGA movement and that conservatives and Trump supporters are domestic terrorists? This is why they wanted the FBI to be threatening parents that you're on the terrorist watch list, because you're defying their Marxist, perverse takeover of your children. Well, it's not going to go well for them. Everywhere in America right now, these school boards are like kamikaze boards going down in flames, as they ought to. You're going to freak out when we give you the facts in a minute. Are you thinking about clinking away? Don't click away. The whole podcast is over on lancewallnau.com/podcast. Go download the whole thing. Go there. They're there every day. The full uncensored truth just for you. Catch it over there.
Hello, friends. You know, you might notice me drinking out of my new oh boy mug. This is the oh boy cup that my staff said. You say that a lot. I didn't know I say that, but this is the Lance Wallnau Show stuff we have. It's people always want to know, well, can we get a Lance Wallnau Show hat? Well, you got the hat right there. And Mercedes, they can also get the notebook where I put my notes in. And we put our stack of stuffed notes in here. And this is where you can get your notebook. Join me with my cup of coffee. There, you can even wear the hat, which I have to wear sometimes because I'm noticing my hair does get dried out in the Dallas sun. Does it? But your hat looks a little different than mine. What's going on there?
Oh, this is the special Lance Wallnau Show Mercedes Sparks edition with Mercedes Sparks in very small lettering underneath. I'll have you see. It's, your name is clearly the prominent name, but just underneath with Mercedes Sparks. By request, I would say at this point. People are begging us for this edition of the hat, only followed by demands for hats for Carl's name on it or Jonathan? The other guy, which is Jonathan. So, yeah, it's fun.
Well, we're starting a trend. And by the way, you can go there and find out all about the With Mercedes Sparks hat if you'd like to get that. And if you have this apparel on, by the way, when you come to our arena events, which are 10,000 and 12,000 people at a time now with our various shows that we're doing, you can, if you're wearing the hat, you get 10% off. The predictive book, God's Chaos Code, still a bestseller, over 100,000 sold, predicting the Billy Graham moment we're heading into in America right now, which is the turn of the populist movement and the rising of a movement to break the power of communism when government starts to conspire against the MAGA movement. We wrote about all this stuff. We wrote about this before the election that we all know was stolen. So, Lance Wallnau, oh, look at this. Best-selling author with Mercedes Sparks. All along, you've been demonstrating this tendency to get your name. Or have
you been demonstrating the tendency?
Oh, have I been demonstrating?
That there is a secret sauce behind
that's true.
a lot of the Wallnau success.
That's why we put your name up there, because you did help us get the book over the finish line. As you said, before the election is better than after. I said, details. All right, you want to go to lancewallnau.com/stuff, STUFF, or /merch, MERCH, or /swag. I was going to say stash. Swag, SWAG. I know in my head it was stash, but thank God I didn't say that. All right, we'll be. And you want to come right back to do it now? Don't forget it. Do it now. If you wear this, 10% off on our product table. 10% off if you got the merch at any product table for any live event. Talk to you later. Bye bye.